You are now tuning in to Lex and RDDC broadcast station, serving up on the double doses for us all.
Welcome back to the Real Double Dose channel. This is your host Lex coming to you straight from the heart where the talk is real and the vibe is always live. I am so blessed and happy we are to have you back on here because here serving a slice of everyday life is what RDDC is all about. For any questions, show requests, or feedback, as always, you can reach us at Real Double Dose channel at yandex.com. That's YANDEX.com, and as well as realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. That's realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. And also we will have many more .coms coming, and check out the insights and all that about me and so much more at the end of that .blogspot that you can check out with us. And they'll have all the links, disclaimers, descriptions, our wonderful book series, and so much more at the end of the blog. And as well as check us out on TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, you know how difficult it gets, iTunes, and Spreaker.com, Spotify, and many, many more, as well as SoundCloud.com. We have links and wonderful different things on there you can check out too that we post up. So we're here, and this is going to be the hashtag Self-Illumination Part 2. Yes, indeed, it is. We also want to give a shout out to the RDDC 2018 Inspire Challenge that was launched, and all of you who signed up. I think there may have been about 65 or 70 that we see right now. And we also have the hashtag Winter Transformation Challenge we'll be rolling out too for that. If you haven't yet, you can leave your postings or whatever you would like to the either email, the blogspot, or our Facebook page at RDDC Lex Team / Facebook.com, or the opposite way, one of those. Let's not get too professional, but I wanted to give us an intro into this self-illumination part 2. The response from the self-illumination part 1 was amazing, and thank you, it was incredible, as well as the Illumination of Self book series that I'll be coming out with. But I had to, this is from, I think it's Jose Pena, and I definitely look to him for different stuff that he has going on. But when it came in, I just had to read this off to my family. It says, imagine you have $31,536,000 in your bank account. Pretty sweet, right? But this is a special bank account where you have no choice but to spend the money, because if you don't use it, you'll lose it. So how would you spend it? What would you do? Would you invest in what things you want? What things would you buy? And then you run out of the big bills. What would you have or shore for it? Well, that account is actually real. And as of this morning, you now have 31,536,000 seconds left in 2019. Sounds like a lot, huh? But it's actually only 526,600 minutes, or 8,760 hours, or 365 days, or 52 weeks, which are probably at least 51 weeks now that I'm giving this to you. And depending on what time you're reading this, it's probably even less, like he says. Time's ticking, and you'll never get those minutes back. So in this year, spend that time wisely. If there's something you've been thinking about doing for a while, but it scares you, now is the perfect time to start. If you want to change jobs or get a new career, new love life, or whatever it may be, then now is a great time to begin. If you want to learn a high income skill, a life skill, a meditation skill, a humble skill, so you can be free from anything that you may call the rat race of life and live life on your own terms, then today is a great day to change your life. My point is simple. Stop waiting. Time is going to pass whether you do it or not. And in 365 days, you're going to be a year older. And at the end of the day, what will you have to show for it? Work every day with that in mind. And I bet that a year from now, you'll be leaps and bounds closer to achieving your dreams. And it says to your success. I love that. It is amazing. Wasn't that bomb? Hello. Absorb that for a minute. Rewind it. But I have to speak where I'm not messing up every time I talk. You see what I mean? So I don't want to skip and stumble too much, so you can kind of get the clarity behind it. It is a little intimidating being on any broadcast, podcast, or radio show, because your voice is going out there to the masses. And a lot of people judge different things, but mine is about clarity always. And I hope that hits you the way it hit me, and I needed to share that with you. Now, this part of self-illumination, part 2, it kind of goes and coincidentally, how they say, it kind of goes in sync with it, because I never even knew that it had basically so much value in almost the same exact things. So I hope the mic, like I said, new software. I'm sorry if it's super loud. I'm trying to move it away from me, but at least it's clear enough to where you can hear me, I hope. So we're going to go into this with accentuate, the positive. And this is a part of the series of, the astonishing power of positive thinking. That is also in the link description of the book I have. That is on realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. But this is a snippet insert. Now, these are different kind of text that I don't have involved for the self-illumination part 2. But I might have it into like a nice little downloadable folder if by request or whatever it may be later on. How badly do you want your life to change and improve? How much have you studied up on self-help, personal development, and success? How many articles and publications have you read? While research, thought, and planning are important tools on your path to success, they are not the only weapons in your arsenal, and in fact might even be hindering your success if you give into the easy choice of becoming a perpetual student of success. If you read every self-help book available, then you will never become a success, because there won't be any time left to act upon the advice those publications offer. That is very, very true, and I hope you understand where that comes from. I had to look at that myself. While it is good to listen to advice, eventually you are going to have to take action, and that can be done while reading. Our every thought, either takes us toward our goal and desires or away from those goals and desires. Therefore, every thought has a positive or negative effect on the direction of our lives. Compare your brain to a computer. If a new PC is loaded up with, a virus, contaminated programs, would you expect it to run smoothly? Of course not, because you get out of the computer exactly what you put in. As my former computer programming teacher always said, as they say, garbage in, garbage out. And your brain is exactly the same. Your every thought determines the direction of your life. And we've said this in many segments. Go over some of those 100 and some odd segments and you'll see. If you are moving backward, then take time to analyze your thoughts. Make a determined effort to recognize negative thoughts and treat them as your worst enemy. Try not to dwell on them. Putty can be molded into any shape or form, and so too your life can be shaped and your destiny set by your thoughts. If you find yourself weighed down by a lot of negative thoughts, find a way to let them out. If you have a considerate or non-judgmental friend who is willing to listen, then vent. But remember, like I say, Lex says, they are not your trash pile or your garbage disposal. They're there to sift through it with you, but not be the focus of where your trash sits upon them. Okay, they got their own problems too. Pets are great, sympathetic listeners. Pets are. You can also use a journal to vent your negative thoughts. A good friend of mine recently went through a very difficult time, professionally and personally. And while she did a fair amount of crying on the shoulders of her loved ones, she found it, counterproductive, because they were too sympathetic, and that sympathy would often only emphasize her sense that she'd been wronged. She needed to find a way to break that cycle so she could move on. She wrote out her frustrations and anger and then held a symbolic burning party. I haven't tried her method myself, but I am holding it in reserve for future tough times. Remember, the potential for change is the same for everyone. It only takes acceptance of the idea that change is possible, coupled with the determination to follow through. It's not always easy to control our thoughts, but certainly not impossible, and the reward can last a lifetime. There are many books on the subject of self-help, but remember, you must take action to succeed. Your thoughts will not change simply by reading an article or book. You must apply what you learn to your everyday affairs. Allow what you read to awaken the possibility of change within you. Then take action. One of the most beneficial practices for positive thinking is to look for the good in everyone and everything. Remember to encourage others every day by a kind word or deed, and be ready to offer or receive compliments. Find opportunities to put the power of your positive thinking to work. For example, you might be standing in a long line at the supermarket checkout. Rather than get upset, do your utmost to help out and encourage others with a kind word or compliment. You will be out and encourage others with a kind word or a compliment. You will be surprised at the positive reaction and at how many people will bless you with a wonderful smile in return. Taking the time to notice others and look for the good in every situation will not only lift your spirits, but will brighten the day for everyone around you. Yes, the ripple effect. Remember that. Check out that episode, okay? It's a win-win situation to be sure. There are 1,001 ways to look for the good in others, be they family, friends, or those you may only meet once. So, get the lead out, get rid of those negative thoughts, and become a winner. Begin today to change your thought pattern and patterns one step at a time. Set yourself a goal for the week or month and devote full attention to controlling your thoughts. Start with at least 1 hour each day and increase the time as your confidence and thinking improve more and more. It is a habit that needs nurturing and a habit you'll come to cherish. If you accentuate the positive in your life and concentrate on making your positive changes, then there will be no stopping you on your road to true success. Oh, hashtag, did you feel that? Yes, I felt that very much so. And that's what it is. This is hashtag self-illumination part 2, accentuate. Okay, well, accentuate the positive, but accentuate. We don't want it too long, okay? But you get the point. And the point is that it's all about the steps we take forward to make every single moment count. You know this. But I look at it and I'm like, man, it's already almost a full week into the first week of 2019. I mean, literally. It's scary. And I'm like, man, I literally the whole first week, the first day or two, I was 100%, I'm going to implement the get it done right now, which is coming up in another episode. But it worked, and I allowed myself to, even though I kind of slipped back, I think I had to process everything. And my sister, God rest her soul, it has not been a year yet since she passed away. Not only do I have to mourn her and grieve properly, but I also have my brother that passed away a few months back after her, 2 months after her. I had to bury him. So it hasn't been a year yet, and April will hit, but her birthday was the 5th of January, my little Capricorn. So it was very difficult the other day to go through that, and my emotions fluctuated. My mind wants to go back to the thoughts of what I saw, but man, I don't want to feel that pain anymore. But it's still good to endure the pain inside and know that it was real, and there's still real good things coming. But as I looked, I mean, I slagged off, and I don't even mean like just completely dropped off the map. I just literally allowed other people to consume my time. And although I got something out of it, encouragement, and got a chance to talk to them and felt like a better person because of it, and I needed something to help me through, and it could have been my coping mechanism to deal with what was coming. It still could be many other aspects too, but it made me feel good. It didn't make me feel too good when it came down to me kind of stressful shopping, I'm just saying it should have been done by Christmas. I know, Lex, crazy, but I bought a lot of perfume, beautiful sunflower, vanilla fields, Rihanna, Kiss and Crush, and Amber, just all kinds of stuff. But hey, that's gonna last at least for a full year. Okay, there's no excuse. I went shopping like crazy, and maybe it's completely out of my system now. I'm trying to stay away from the stores, period. But at the end of the day, I feel like I lost almost a week, but then at the same time, I feel like I gained something too. Sometimes we all need to reboot and recharge and regain who we are. Now, no matter if it's 2021 or back to 2016, whatever it is, life will never stop. Even if we do, it's always going to be there. The creator itself. I mean, look at that. Everything has a seed within it, and it permeates. Everything multiplies. Everything is fruitful to multiply, no matter how negative or positive that may be. So think about the negative and positive seeds that you're planting in your mind at all times. Or catch a thought And you're wondering, man, why am I thinking about the day I burnt that turkey? That was 2 years ago. And I'm thinking about it for an hour and a half. I just spaced out. Yeah, that's an hour and a half of thoughts that you didn't like to feel. And you're permeating that all throughout the system of us, of life. So I want to just put that out there for Self-Illumination Part 2, Accentuate. And also remember that you can only do one step at a time. But at the same time, it's good for us to know where we are with it. Catch ourselves in those thoughts. Catch ourselves in those moments. You can say, man, I'm going to read 120 self-positive books, or listen to 1,000 podcasts, or do whatever you're going to do. But like I said before, for me, I started realizing, even though you absorb that and you get it, after a while, I couldn't even hear it most of the time, because I'm like, man, I'm listening to it. I feel great, but I want to move. I want to drive upon this. I want to put these things in order. So now it's not just reading or hearing it from audios, is actually implementing it, writing down a list, and getting those things started up to be completed. At least you're moving towards something. You're wonderful. You're amazing. Never forget it. Be the change, feel the passion, and embrace the wonderful power of the Spirit. This is your host, Lex, always coming to you straight from the heart. And check us out and holler at us at Real Double Dose Channel at yandex.com. That's yandex.com, and as well as realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. Check us out. It's amazing. You're wonderful. And we're just on the journey of complete self-enlightenment, uplifting, and wonderfulness, and everything else. It could be a recipe next week. It could be someone, and you know what? I do have some juice to spill to you too about, relationships coming up in this series, because we definitely had a calling for that, and a lot of infidelity and crazy issues. But we're going to keep it right now with upliftment of what we are. We'll stem from that later on. So just make sure you stay on your drive, and self-illumination, bringing the light and drawing the light out within you and shining it upon you so you may shine upon others, is exactly what it's all about. So, all you can do is just breathe in, breathe out, and keep moving forward. This is your host, Lex. We love you, we appreciate you, and we will be back with you very, very soon.